Hello lovely people, welcome once again to Akusia's vlog. If you are new here, kindly subscribe to my channel and don't forget to hit the notification bell when you're done. In today's recipe, we are going to prepare sugar bread. This type of bread is very sweet, dense, it has chewy texture, commonly eaten in Ghana, and others all over the world have similar varieties or versions. This is a popular request and I would like to show you guys how it's being made. Now, since we are going to bake, you need accurate measurement. So come with me as I take you through the process today. First of all, I'm going to sift my flour, and for this recipe, I'm preparing 2 loaves. So I'm using 500 grams or 4 cups of hard flour. Some call it bread flour, so use that one, and then you sift to make sure there aren't any lumps in the flour. I'm doing this because I want my bread very smooth with no lumps. When you're done sifting, you sift your milk powder too. I'm using about 2 tablespoonfuls of milk powder for this recipe. After, you add a teaspoon of salt to taste. Now I'm adding a half cup of sugar for this recipe. Use less if you don't want more sugar. Now I'm adding a teaspoon of nutmeg too, and then I'll add 1 tablespoon of our dry yeast. Make sure the dry yeast doesn't come into contact with the salt yet. And then I'm using about 45 grams of butter for this recipe too. Now I'm going to break an egg, and then it's time to add my vanilla essence. Trust me, you can mix vanilla with pineapple essence for your bread and it's super delicious. After, I'm going to add water to this. I'm using 1 cup of warm water for this recipe. Now it's time to mix everything together to form a dough. Since I'm using the stand mixer, I'm going to knead this for 5 minutes at a time. I'll allow it to rest for 5 minutes again, and then I'll continue in that order till my 20 minutes is done. Now we are doing this to activate the gluten. For bread, it has to be very stretchy. Thank you so much to my existing subscribers and to my new ones too. I hope you enjoy my channel as I do. Thank you so much. I'm really grateful for the support so far, and I will always be grateful to you guys. Now, this is how it looks like after the 5 minutes, and then I will let it rest for 2 to 5 minutes before coming back again to it. After my machine had rested, I'm going to start kneading again, and then I will do same till all the minutes I told you earlier has been exhausted. Now, without this, you can use your muzzle, and then you'll be kneading for 20 to 30 minutes. Make sure to rest in between, and then you are good to go. But then I prefer to use the machine. Who won't? Because it's easier, and then it saves time as well. Now, when it's done, it's not supposed to be sticky. It should be able to form into a ball easily. Now, look at how smooth it is after the 20 minutes. Now, if you have a powerful stand mixer, you can set your timer to 10 minutes and you can do it straight away. Now, I'm going to divide this into 2 and then continue with the baking process. Look at how beautiful it is. After, I'm going to grease my rolling pin with some butter and same to my working surface as well. You can use flour, but then I don't want it very hard, so I opted to use butter to serve as my greaser. Now for the rest, look at how I'm doing and then you do same to yours. When you have a flatter surface like this, it's time to roll your bread. So you roll it and then you tuck the edges in, you roll again, you tuck the edges in, and then you do same till all the dough has been rolled beautifully. For the last part, you have to make sure to tuck it in really well. We are closing it. If you don't do it well, it will open whilst it's baking. So make sure to tuck it very well. After you give it a roll to make it beautiful. It's time to coat our pan, so I'm coating it with my butter and I'm doing same to all the four corners, and then I'll put my dough inside. I'll cover it with a clean napkin and allow it to rest for 2 hours. Now on the second part, I'm going to divide it into smaller sizes and then I will make bread rolls from this one. Trust me, if you go by the procedure I'm showing you, you will never get it wrong. So I cut mine into 8 equal parts and then I will fold it and then make balls out of it. So you have to see how I'm making mine. You pick it up and then you tuck in the under and then you roll it in your palm. You can roll it on your surface too and it's fine. We only want it to be balls or in a circular form. When you're done with the rolls, it's time to coat your pan again. So this time I'm using the traditional pans. I'm going to coat it with butter and then with some flour too. Be generous with your flour so that it doesn't stick to the pan when it's done baking. I'm going to beautifully place my bread rolls into the pan, and this time round I have to make sure that there are spaces in between because I'm going to leave it in a warm place for 2 hours to allow it to rise or double up in size. This is how it looks like after the 2 hours, so it's time to bake. Now, in order to get a moist bread, or I don't want any dry surface bread, I'm going to place water into my oven and then I'll bake it at 160 degrees Celsius for 20 to 25 minutes. Look at how beautiful our bread turned out to be after 20 minutes. Just look at it. So I'll leave it to cool down before eating it. Wow, look at how gorgeous this also is. Now let's try it. It's cooked throughout. You can eat this with your butter, your margarine, your peanut butter. You can eat it like that, and it's good and delicious, trust me. Thank you, lovely people, for watching my channel. Don't forget to like, subscribe for more recipes. Bye bye.